Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Miss Fatma is speaking. Today we will discuss chapter 9, which is about teaching listening. What is listening? Give me a definition of listening. Listening is not just about being quiet while someone else is speaking. So, listening is the ability to identify and understand what others are saying. This includes understanding a speaker's accent or pronunciation, his grammar, and his vocabulary, and grasping his meaning. This means that listening is the process of receiving, constructing meaning, and responding to spoken or nonverbal messages. Listening is an active process. Actually, listening is an active process of getting information, ideas, etc. to improve interpersonal and oral exchange. What is the difference between hearing and listening? Of course, hearing is easy, but listening is hard. Also, hearing is passive, but listening is active. Is an active process. Additionally, hearing is a physical function of biology, but listening is mental function of internal behavior. So, listening is beyond words more than hearing. From this, the difference between hearing and listening, we can list that listening is receptive skill, which involves making sense of the meaningful sounds of language by using context and our knowledge of the language and the world. So learners have to be able to understand the main idea of what is said and as well as specific details. Also, learners need to check any predictions they have made and understand the speaker's meaning, emotions, and opinions. Reasons for teaching listening. What are the reasons for teaching listening? Here, of course, most students want to be able to understand what people are saying to them in English. Just to summarize these reasons, here, listening is good for our students' pronunciation. In that, the more our students hear and understand English being spoken, the more they absorb appropriate pitch and intonation. Stress the sounds of both individual words and those which blend together in connected speech. What is a difficult task? Think about this question and give me the answer. What is a difficult task? Actually, teaching listening skills is one of the most difficult tasks for any English teacher. Sometimes students feel frustrated because they find listening difficult. Here we have some reasons why learners may find listening difficult. Learners try to listen and understand word by word. Learners may assume failure Also, learners don't have idea of the listening context. And here we have another difficult that faces our students. Here learners are not conscious of features of connected speech, word stress, or speed of speech. In addition, learners are not aware of the listening strategies. They have hearing problems. They can't cope without images. Yes, here. How to listen effectively. Again, how to listen effectively. Here we have some steps here, that you can follow to achieve effective listening and effective listening. Yes, here, learners should stop talking and be silent. They should show interest and empathize. They should ask questions and maintain eye contact. Also they should practice, listening and listen creatively. Here. So poor listening skills can lead to misunderstanding. What are the stages of listening process? Yes, here we have here 6 stages of listening process, which are hearing, which means receiving raw data, focusing on message. Also here we have comprehending and interpreting. Just to assign meaning, analyze. Evaluating here. The stage of evaluating, which means analyzing and judging, responding, and the last stage is remembering. Just to draw on memory. Yes, So if I ask you here, why listening is important? Why do you think listening is important? Yes, of course. Listening is the skill that provides input for learners in language learning and acquisition. Without understanding the input at the right level, any learning can't begin. So, listening is the fundamental skill to speaking. Here, let's go to discuss, types of listening. Here we have three main types of listening, which are listening for the guest, which, focuses on overall understanding or the main idea, such as an important message. And here we have another type, which is listening for specific information, which focuses on details such as times, places, numbers, names, etc. And the last type is listening for inferences or listening between the lines, which focuses on the implied meaning, which is not directly stated, such as the feeling of the speaker, the intention of the speaker, the target, audience, and so on. How can we teach listening? Again, how can we teach listening? Here we have two main listening strategies, which are divided into views, bottom-up strategy and the top-down strategy. Yes, here, in bottom-up strategy, Okay, this strategy depends on language aspects such as sounds, vocabulary, grammar, or text-based, okay, which is a process of decoding the sounds we hear from the smallest units to complete text. For example, okay, about the bottom-up strategy here, okay, for example, listening for specific details, recognizing cognates, recognizing word order patterns, etc. Yes, here, okay, but top-down strategy focuses on the listener and thinking process. Okay, it is okay. Top-down strategy is the process of constructing the original meaning of the speaker by using incoming sounds as clues, using background knowledge of the context and situation to interpret. For example, listening for main idea, predicting, drawing inferences, summarizing, intentions, etc. Which one is better, top-down or bottom-up strategy? Yes, just get your opinion about that and justify your answer. Which one is better, top-down or bottom-up? Of course, more effective learners tended to use a more top-down strategies in understanding the message, but less effective learners tended to use a more bottom-up strategies. Both top-down and bottom-up strategies are necessary in developing courses, materials, and lessons. For example, okay, the students not only discriminate the different sounds, but also they use what they already know to understand what they hear. Yes, here we have okay, language learning strategy, which contains 6 sets of language learning behavior based on the theory that the learner is a whole person using intellectual resources, social, emotional, physical. It's not merely a cognitive or metacognitive information processing machine. Here we have the 6 stages, the 6 strategies, uh, yes, which are effective strategy. Yes, here, okay, effective strategies such as an anxiety reduction, self-encouragement, self-reward, social strategy, for example, okay, about that is asking questions, cooperating, okay, becoming culturally aware, metacognitive strategy, okay, just okay, an example about okay here, yes, examples of metacognitive strategy is paying attention, consciously searching for practice opportunities, planning for language tasks, self-evaluating progress, and monitoring errors. And examples of memory-related strategy here, grouping, imagery, rhyming, moving physically, structured, reviewing. And here we have okay, examples of general cognitive strategy, such as here, okay, reasoning, analyzing, summarizing, practicing. But here the compensatory strategy, here such as okay, some examples of compensatory strategy are guessing meaning from the context, using gestures and synonyms to convey meaning. What are the steps in teaching listening skills? Yes, Here we have three main steps in teaching listening skills, which are pre-listening, while or during listening, and post-listening. Yes. Here, okay, the pre-listening stage, or in pre-listening stage, yes, okay, the teachers activate listeners' background, knowledge, and experience. Okay, in this stage, teachers can tell their students, don't worry. Okay, and they can make sure that their students know what they are listening for before they start listening. It's very necessary for teachers, in this stage, give questions to check their students' comprehension and check for any words that their students may not know. Also, teachers should check for any words that their students may not know. Teachers can give short listening and stop the recording. Here, in while listening stage, teachers can ask their students listen for the gist, specific information and inferences. So here, in this stage, teachers can try to play the recording once for overall comprehension and then for specific details. Teachers can ask their students to take notes such as dates, places, people, and after that, teachers can repeat the recording, especially in the difficult parts. But here, in the post-listening, students can do activities which are related to the listening text, such as expressing opinions, doing group discussions, doing role play. So here, in post-listening stage, teachers can ask their students to compare their notes in small groups. Also, teachers can encourage discussions and answer questions. In addition, teachers can ask their students to write a summary of the main points and then compare. At the end, teachers can ask their students to make a list of any new vocabulary. Here we have some techniques for each stage. Here, some techniques for pre-listening instructions. Yes, here, such as, contextualization, pre-teach vocabulary. For example, look at pictures and so on. To make a prediction, the teacher can ask students what is coming. A teacher can ask their students to discuss the topic, play games, or teachers can ask their students to do guiding questions. Here, and here we have some techniques for while or during listening stage, such as comparing, obeying instructions, filling in gaps, information transfer, sequencing, matching, and so on. And here we have some techniques for post-listening stage, the final stage of teaching listening. Here we have the teachers can ask their students answering to show comprehension, summarizing activities, jigsaw listening, writing as follow-up, and so on. Yes, here we have the formats of listening lesson. Here we have, pre-listening, extensive listening, preset questions or task, intensive listening, language of the recording, and final play. Yes, it's very important to know these formats of listening lesson. Yes, here, okay, in pre-listening, okay, teachers, okay, give a brief introductory phase. Okay, here, for example, the goals. Okay, at the end of this, okay, lesson, students are expected to be able to set the scene, to motivate the learners to listen, to turn learners thinking toward the topic, okay, proposed for our 5 necessary words, and so on. Here, okay, in extensive listening, uh, a first playing of the recording, okay, followed by the general questions. Okay, the main goal of that is to adjust to the speaker's voices different types of information. And here we have, okay, preset questions or tasks teacher can ask, okay, students to do. Okay, here just, okay, a teacher can check, okay, if the learners, okay, know what tasks they will do, what questions they have to answer. Yes, here, okay, in intensive listening, okay, a second playing of the recording to obtain answers, check the accuracy of the answers, and reply the relevant passages where the comprehension levels are low. The language of the recording here, okay, we have follow-up activity. Okay, in first playing, okay, in first playing, okay, teachers can ask their students to reply the sentences containing the unknown words, to infer their meanings from the context. And in the second playing, teachers can ask their students to find the functional language. And the final play, which is done with learners following the tape script and enable the learners to deconstruct any sections that the learners found difficult to match to work, and to provide a long-term reminder. So, a successful listening activity, okay, includes ideas to make the best listening activities, okay, ever. Okay, and a successful listening activity reduce distractions and noise during the listening segment. In addition, a successful, okay, listening activity, okay, teachers can make sure the equipment produces acceptable sound quality, and teachers can read or play the text a total of two to, okay, from 2 to 3 times. Also, teachers can play a video clip with the sound off and ask students to make predictions about it. Teachers can give students a listening task to do between classes. Here we have some, okay, listening principles, which are encourage students to listen as often and as much as possible. Help students prepare to listen once may not be enough. Okay, so, okay, teachers can encourage their students to respond to the content of listening, not just to the language. And here, okay, it's very necessary to pay, okay, the attention of your students that there are different listening stages, which demand different listening tasks. Okay, also good teachers exploit listening text to the full. Here we have listening activity, includes school, the subject, level of English, ages, topic, objectives, achievement, skills, okay, practiced, reading, speaking, listening, writing, vocabulary and grammar and assessment. Here, okay, you need to, okay, to prepare, okay, activities for each stage of teaching listening, which are pre-listening, while listening, and post listening, and send your answer for me. Thank you. Have a nice day.